Okay, so it's my honor to join the RISC-V Date Tokyo again. In my presentation, it included two main parts. One is Linux distro on RISC-V. Another is industrial standard RISC-V server and PC. We are working on the standard right now, and there are some good progress on this area. So let me start with the Linux distro on RISC-V. Linux is everywhere, and from the end device, IoT device, to gateway, and to the cloud platform and edge compute. In the IoT device and gateway, most of the distribution and software made by cross compilation, and in the cloud platform and the edge computing, I think most of distribution made by the native compilation. So that's I guess that's the biggest difference between IoT and real PC or server device. So what is a Linux distribution? Most of people, when we're talking about Linux, most of people were thinking about Linux kernel, but in the actual world, a Linux kernel is just part of the Linux distribution, and not actually it's just a package. Although it's it's the biggest and most important package, but if you want to use a Linux, you need a package management system like RPM management system, or Debian IPK management system. So Linux distribution is not just a kernel. It includes thousands of different packages. It's an ecosystem. So if you want to want the architecture to be famous, the ecosystem is a crucial, is a most important part for this architecture. That's why we are so interested about Fedora and other Linux distribution on RISC-V, because we are focusing on, we hope RISC-V can be popular in our world. So for example, Fedora is a part of the Linux distribution. It's one of that, and for RISC-V, I guess is the most famous one. And Fedora, let me introduce a little bit Fedora. It's a part of the Red Hat Linux community. Fedora is focused on a new feature and a new technology. It's a community driven and distribution. It's free. The life cycle, the release cycle is short, possibly 6 months. Like right now, we are using Fedora 33. And after that, right now we have another distribution called CentOS Stream. It's focused on the next Linux. It's focused on the next Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and it cooperate with Red Hat, its ecosystem, and the CentOS OS. So most of people were thinking about, oh, it's a Linux, it's a CentOS Linux, but CentOS Stream is between Fedora and RHEL. So once Fedora gets some new feature, it will integrate to the CentOS OS Stream, and then RHEL. So RHEL is a product from Red Hat. It's focused on stability, and it's supported by Red Hat. Come with a lot of subscription. Subscription is technology support and also the update. So the release time is possibly 9 months. It's a product with Red Hat support, and Red Hat RHEL is is a few RHEL is a distribution supported by Red Hat, and we are open source company. So we will release all the software in the RHEL. So at the end, we have CentOS Linux. CentOS is focused on stability, community-driven. It's a community-driven and free software, but lack of official support. It's based on the same code with RHEL. So this is the general introduction of the Fedora RHEL and CentOS. So what's the status of Fedora on RISC-V? Fedora on RISC right now, Fedora is using Open SPI U-boot on QEMU and hardware The package management is DNF. Is a Yarn and RPN. DNF is a new version of Yarn. So the building system is Koji. Right now, we are using Koji to build all the Fedora RISC-V package. So the status in right now, the status is all the package is in maintenance. We are building Fedora 33 row height, and the imaging we are building most of the time we are building development. We are building developer minimum imaging, but no the graphic imaging is too big and we lack of a resource to build it. So we haven't built it too much. We are focused on the development imaging. So for the repository, we have 3 main repository in the world. The main repository is come from Fedora project, and then you can download the package from a mirror from Princeton University. And recently, from last year, China Academy of Science helped us to mirror the report in China. So we have a 3 report right now. So the Koji is a build system for Fedora. It's a build system for Fedora. So it's running in US, but in China, we can use a package build system called Oepkgs. Right now, actually, we are working on, I'm helping China Academy of Science to making Oepkgs. I hope they can support RISC-V in the near future. So that's the main architecture of the main architecture of the Oepkg build system. If you want to build a package for RISC-V, if you want right now, it support ARC4 and x86. RISC-V is another test or another support architecture, I believe. And if you want to build a package for Fedora for RISC-V in the future, you can just put your RISC-V. If you just need to put your all the coding, all the package resource into the Gitee, and then you just need to trigger it. You just need to trigger it, and it will trigger Jenkins in the main server, and the Jenkins will analysis all the information from Gitee, and then made a package in the Koji server. So we are planning to make RISC-V 64 and 32-bit builder in this system. It's a preview version of the Oepkg build system. So for now, Fedora is support QEMU managed by libvirt. It also supports Sci-Fi Unleash in the Sci-Fi Unleash with graphic output. And I'm so happy to see more RISC-V advanced RISC-V platform in the world. Recently, Starfi, so-called Sci-Fi China, already released a new computing intelligent visual computing platform called VIC 7100, and it include a lot of great feature. It's used for 74 platform. It support up to 16 gigabyte DDR4, and you can see from the picture. That's the latest. It's a EVB evaluation board from LAN. I got luck can use one of them to make Fedora running on it. So that's my current work. I'm trying to make Fedora and latest Linux kernel U-boot running on this great development board, and it may has AI module and video encode decode, and a lot of amazing feature in this device. So, and you may see the news on the world. You may see the news from Crowd Supply and YouTube. Sci-Fi already released unmatched platform called Hi-Fi Unmatched. It's using Sci-Fi Freedom U740, this very advanced RISC-V 64-bit platform. We will working on making Fedora running on it. Although it's running open embed right now. I may get a board next month or next year, and we will start working on this platform as soon as possible. The most amazing feature on this board is it's a PC form factor. You can put this development board into a standard PC case, just like the picture showing you right now. It's a very amazing, exciting moment for RISC-V world, I guess. In the next year, you may see more and more this kind of platform in the world. So that's another amazing platform we would like to working on. It comes from Michael Simi, actually microchip right now, and I haven't got a board actually, so I cannot start my Fedora porting, but I think I will get it soon, and at least next year we will make Fedora running on this development board. Because this SoC is industrial level, so it's a product. It's not a tester chip. So I'm so exciting and very happy could working on that. I hope I can get this board as soon as possible. So we also test Fedora on Andes development platform for a long. So we may consider actual silicon next year, and we also cooperate with China ICT Institute of Computing Technology, Chinese Academy of Science, and the Intelligent Software Research Center from Chinese Academy of Science. These two department we are working with, and actually you can see before Oepkgs is supported by Intelligent Software Research Center. We are discussion, and we talking about if we can make RISC-V 64-bit and 32-bit support by their compute building platform right now. So that's the FPGA developing platform from ICT. They have tried Fedora running on it, so it's successful run Fedora on this amazing platform. It's used in the university. It made a lot of students can practice RISC-V silicon design, RISC-V architecture design remotely. because they can put this case into the mainframe, and then the student can remote access this FPGA platform, and then practice and make the design in this case and put Fedora running on it. So actually, we are looking forward more and more RISC-V 64-bit and 32-bit device. We would love to all these devices running to support them to running Fedora. We are always open. Hope if you have this development board, contact with us as soon as possible. We can support you and start to support you in a very early age. And so not just Fedora support RISC-V 64-bit, we are also happy to see more and more Linux distributions support RISC-V, like Debian. You can make Debian running on RISC-V machine, but I guess for now is you still using BBL. And then you can see the Slackwell, and it cannot boot from Fedora imaging, but you can change root from change root for Fedora imaging right now. And Gen 2 and Arch Linux are also support RISC-V 64-bit. You can, but we still need a good firmware to boot Linux standardly. So we are waiting for a new standard firmware for booting Linux right now. So you can see not just Fedora, but also some other more Linux distribution will support RISC-V. RISC-V 64-bit ecosystem will be rich, and we really happy to see all this distribution running, and not just the cloud PC level distribution, but also embedded Linux also support RISC-V. You can see OpenWRT build root open embed and can running on RISC-V. Just like I introduced before, the latest sci-fi unmatched platform is running open embed right now. We are trying to make Fedora running on it, but it's already running on open embed. So the embed Linux also very important for the ecosystem. They made the RISC-V development board running in a very early age at the very beginning. This help us to enrich the ecosystem. So right now we are I also working on RISC-V 32-bit. The current stage we are in now is we are working on Fedora Bootstrap on stage 3. We are making RPM package for RV32. We are exciting to announce we are on stage 4 because we can make RPM for this platform. I think in the coming 1 or 2 months we can finish the stage 3 and stage 4 and make RISC-V 32-bit builder in Koji system. So I hope we can make, but for now we are using QEMU because we lacked of the real hardware. So I hope we can get the real RV32 with MNU support next year for the Linux distribution. We really want to run Fedora on it. So if you are designed or building this kind of a machine, please let us know. So the last part of the next part of my presentation is about industry standard for RISC-V server and PC. Like I introduced before, we barely need to make RISC-V server and PC boring, because there's no any administrator want to manage a different kind of different standard computer or server in the mainframe, because it's too complicated. So we need a standard from SBA light standard in ARM area, SBSA, SBBR, or the tester suite at ACS tester suite. So what we are doing now, we are working under RISC-V Foundation. There is a group called UNIX-Class Platform Specification Task Group in RISC-V Foundation. We have a meeting weekly or bi-weekly. The tasks for this group is making server and PC standard for RISC-V 64-bit. I'm happy to see RISC-V firmware is nearly almost ready. We can make U-boot running or booting Fedora imaging, or we can use OpenSBI U-boot and we can use the OpenSBI U-boot to booting Linux from the real hardware. Right now, the OpenSBI U-boot is a standard boot flow for Fedora. And so we also everything is ready actually. The next step is to make a GRUB2 boot Linux, boot Fedora on RISC-V machine. So it's ongoing job. Because everything is ready. UEFI is can running on RISC-V and booting Linux. That's another good news I would like to sharing with you. Under the help with HPE and Western Digital, we can make real hardware like Sci-Fi Unleashed running upstream UEFI. Linux can boot from UEFI on real hardware and QEMU right now. So it's a very exciting moment. I so believe next year, or maybe at the beginning of next year, you can see Hi-Fi Unmatched and Unleashed running Linux with a standard boot float right now, like a real PC. So I guess that's all the things I will share with you. Thank you for all the people who helping me and provide the hardware and software to me. Let me to make Fedora running on the new platform. And thank you very much for having me in this event. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there any question from audience? So please put on Slack or post on Twitter so we can pick. By the way, there is only 2 minutes left. So that is a good news. So beginning of next year, so we can use real hardware and real operating system like a PC. So yeah, it's amazing.
Yes. So I so believe that's just a beginning, and in the middle of next year, we can see more and more Linux support RISC-V machine from US, from Europe, and especially from China. At least I know 3 or 2 platform will come out next year. So next year will be I guess there will be the RISC-V PC year next. I'm very happy to see that.
So you support SNP mode also? SMP mode?
Sorry?
On the
yes,
SMP mode?
It's under SMP. Is a multiprocessor in the corp. Yes. Yes. The right now the distribution Linux kernel is using SMP mode.
So there's no question from audience. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.